Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review of The Expendables 2. This movie is directed by Simon West, who previously directed Con Air and The Mechanic, and this movie stars pretty much the same cast as the first one, being Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, Terry Crews, and Randy Couture, but this time there's a few more characters added to the mix, and they're played by Liam Hemsworth, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, Chuck Norris, and Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now, the plot of this movie is Barney Ross and his team were set out on this mission to retrieve this special item in this safe. Well, during the mission, one of their teammates is killed, and not only is their teammate killed, but the villain, who's played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, basically steals the thing they were after, and he plans to uncover all this plutonium and pretty much blow up the world or whatever. It's not clear. Anyway, so Sylvester Stallone and his team decide to not only get vengeance on Villain for killing their teammate, but also they want to get back the plutonium. I was really excited to see this movie. After the first one, I was like, that'd be amazing if they made a sequel. And they have made a sequel. So going into it, I was just like, I don't care, just make it better than the first one. Bring in more movie stars, just make it awesome. And having seen this movie, I can honestly say it was. This movie was better in every way. The only gripe I had were there were two actors, Liam Hemsworth and Jet Li. They weren't in this movie as much as I wanted them to be, but if you can get past that, all the action, all the comedy, all the witty lines, and all the violence make up for it. Now, had you told me 10 years ago that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis and Sylvester Stallone were all going to be side by side, just mowing down people with automatic weapons, I would have been like, yeah, in your dreams, but it happens, and it's in this movie. Now, the villain in the movie isn't too deep, and his plot isn't really explained, but neither was the guys in the first one, so it's not that big of a deal. Now, speaking of the first one, you don't have to see that one to enjoy this movie, but it would help, because they do mention the Valena mission in the first one. You also get a feeling for who Bruce Willis's character is, and just the overall feel of the group and how they work together. I think for the most part was pretty good for a movie like this. Sylvester Stallone was, exactly the same as he was in the first one, though for some reason for me it seemed like he was almost harder to understand than this one. Jason Statham, good job. Terry Crews, Randy Couture, their roles weren't as big in this movie, but it was okay because all that mattered really was their teamwork. Dolph Lundgren, though, had a lot more in this movie to do, so it was good to see that because I really thought he was going to be like either left out of this one or he wasn't going to have much to do, but he worked. The action scenes were awesome. Each guy had their own little thing to do. You had Sylvester Stallone as Barney Ross. He was like the team leader. Had his dual pistols. Lee Christmas, played by Jason Statham, had his knife throwing that's just amazing. Terry Crews had his big ol' awesome cannon gun. Randy Couture was, the calm, soft-spoken guy, but he still whooped some ass in this movie. And then you had Dolph Lundgren, who's a guy that just who really just liked to enjoy killing people, and it was awesome. It was even cool because a lot of their personalities and a lot of things they did in real life came out in this movie. Dolph Lundgren, who got a degree in chemistry or was a master's degree or something in Sweden. They mentioned that in this movie, that, hey, he has a degree in chemistry, and he was like the scientist guy in some parts of the movie. You had Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis throwing jabs back and forth of their respective roles. You have Arnold making fun of Sylvester Stallone in Rambo, Terry Crews making fun of Arnold in Terminator. It was just great. You even have Chuck Norris referencing his own Chuck Norris joke. Oh, it was great. There were so many moments in this movie that I just loved. So, because this movie was awesome, but I was missing Jet Li and Liam Hemsworth because their roles, like I said, they weren't in the movie as much as I wanted them to be. From rating of a 1 to a 5, this movie is getting a 4.5. Now, this movie isn't the most, plot-driven and most intelligent and emotionally engaging movie, but it was just an awesome action movie and tons of fun. So, go see it, guys. Till next time, see ya.